that's an article I think we brought out in February last year in NPJ, Digital Medicine, where we looked at clinical trials that were taking place in neurological indications, Alzheimer's, multiple sclerosis, Parkinson's, and epilepsy. And we mapped all the trials that were using digital technology, and we then mapped over time what technologies are used and what are they being used for. And I think the two main takeaways from this article are that the rate in which technology is applied is increasing very impressively. So you go from rarely ever being used in trials in 2010 to being used in more than 10% of trials nowadays, and probably now in 2024 it's probably even more. It's probably 15% if I had to guess. So there's a lot of more tracking going on, and when you look at how this evolved, it's really okay. At the very beginning you had watches and maybe sensors that were tracking motor function of neurological patients, like in Parkinson's disease. But this entire field is maturing so much that the modalities that are now being tracked are really evolving as well. So there's now technology to track sleep, to track cognitive function, which is becoming very important in monitoring, but also screening for Alzheimer's disease, because it's not only using motion and maybe even patient-reported outcomes. It's also using modalities like speech or speech analysis, which really makes this a lot more interesting. And I think it's especially interesting in neurology because what we work with is what patients are able to do, right? We work with their sensory functions and their motor functions, and this is all something we can, to a certain degree at least, measure with technology now, but also even more in the future.